or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, we're now into hour number 2. Birgitta Jónsdóttir is going to join us from 8 after to 40 after. Member of the Icelandic Parliament. She's worked with Mr. Assange, the founder of Wikileaks. And I've got a lot of questions for her. I think she's a great lady, and we'll get her view on these big leaks that she said would shake the world a few weeks ago when she was on with us. And it is a huge story, but I have questions for her. And then we've got Ray McGovern joining us, former top-level CIA analyst, to break down the situation with Iran, the war drums intensifying, the storm clouds gathering. The dogs of war cry havoc and let loose the dogs of war, as Shakespeare would say, is now becoming inevitable, as Hayden, former head of the CIA, said last week. And then we've got, in the last 30 minutes of the show, popping in the father of the birther movement, Phil Berg, will be joining us to give us the latest big developments on that front. But some of the other news I want to get into deals with the government just announcing, oh, yes, we're going to take any stuff off your computer or from your ISP without warrants now. Does Congress say they're going to pass a law? No. Obama says that he's just going to do it on his own. He now operates outside of the law, kind of like Dick Cheney said he did, that he wasn't part of the executive or the legislative or the judicial. He just was his own person. He could order torture. And then when people got in trouble for it, they'd go to prison, and he'd brag about how he ordered the torture, and he wouldn't get in trouble. And then a month and a half ago, George Bush came out and said he'd order torture again. While all these people that followed orders and carried out the torture rot in prison. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be rotting in prison, but who really deserves to be rotting in prison is the question. Well, those that created the policies, John Yoo, Alberto Gonzales, Dick Cheney, none of us are safe when this type of lawless evil is going on unabated. And at 40 after, when Birgitta Jónsdóttir leaves us, I'm going to play a clip from the Todd and Don show that's on mornings on our local affiliate, 590 AM. We're also on 1330. They carry a couple hours weekdays. But 590 AM, I was driving in, about to get out of the car because I get ready at home. Get up about 6, do some research, eat breakfast with the kids, and then I work out. Then I don't know why I'm telling you all this. The point is, then I come into work. So it was about 10:25, and I couldn't get out of the car. I was listening, and this woman went on and on about, I want to give up all my rights so the terrorists will get me. The Constitution's bad. I want to be safe. Search my computer with no warrant. I don't have nothing to hide. It's that the corrupt system will use this to frame you. They will use this to set you up. They will use this to track everything you're doing. They'll use this for unfair trade advantage by gathering all this aggregate data and giving it to private corporations that run the government. So that amazing call is coming up in about T-minus 37 minutes from now. But again, the websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. The last 30 seconds, the last hour, I plug the fact, I'm going to do it again right now before we go to our guest, that I released this film in March of last year, so more than a year and a half ago, or right at a year and a half ago. And it's the Obama deception, and it's been highly censored. They've used a lot of dirty tricks to try to get it off the web, but it's still up there for free on YouTube and Google. But you need to see it in the highest quality, and it supports this broadcast and funds this info war against the tyranny with our secret weapon, the truth. And we need to get the truth out to everybody, and you can get 4 copies of this for $19.95. This special will end Monday evening. We're taking it down Monday evening. So if you want to get 4 copies of this for $19.95, 10 copies for $39.95, that's $3.98 a piece, or they're $4 and change when you get 4 of them. Available right now. Get a 4-pack, $19.95, and your purchase makes this broadcast possible. Infowars.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. You can also download all my films in the highest quality online and burn them to disk, give them to people at prisonplanet.tv. And Big Brother is afraid of this information. We couldn't do any of this without you buying the books, the T-shirts, the videos, and those that have prisonplanet.tv memberships. I salute you all. We'll be right back. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Thousands of Americans are facing evacuation. If you or any of your loved ones might need to evacuate, you must do it yourselves. Please don't procrastinate until they do it for you. Remember the terrible conditions of those that didn't get out for Katrina. Go right now to efoodsdirect.com/Alex or call 800-409-5633 for information on the new Evacuation Pack. It contains 2 weeks of delicious, easy-to-fix food, along with the equipment to prepare it. It's packed in a rugged, heavy-duty tote for transport. Evacuations are looming with the storms and the Gulf oil catastrophe. No matter where you live, wildfires, earthquakes, floods, and storms must be escaped. Don't be like a deer frozen in the headlights of oncoming disaster. At least prepare yourself with this 2-week evacuation pack from efoodsdirect.com. Call 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at prisonplanet.tv.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Well, for the next 32 minutes or so, Birgitta Jónsdóttir, who in just the last year and a half has been really the leader with her coalition in the Icelandic parliament, defeating the banking looting, and that fight is ongoing, but she's had some great victories. I really admire her leadership. She's also in the film that we offer at Infowars.com, The Secret of Oz, how to counter these globalist bankers. But I wanted to get her on because we've never been able to get Julian Assange on the broadcast. He's emailed us back and forth, and I think he's done great work releasing the gun pod footage from the Apaches from a few years ago with the slaughter of the Reuters reporters and shooting the kids up and the pilots laughing about it. They released, a year and a half ago, a secret Army manual for Black Ops captains and above, how to stage false flag. But a lot of people I respect, like Tarpley, Webster Tarpley, and Wayne Madsen and others, they have concerns. But, you know, they might be wrong. And so that's why I want to have a discussion here. But maybe it's how the media spun the 92,000 documents. Because Ray McGovern, who's coming later, he thinks this is really important, and I respect him as well. And I know he's for real. You know, he's exposed the Gulf of Tonkin event they tried to stage a year before they did it under Cheney, right before they left office, trying to start a war with Iran. But Hamid Gul told us a year and a half ago when he contacted me to come on the show, the former head of Pakistani intelligence. I was shocked by it. He says now's not the time to come back on in email exchanges for some reason, but we're working on that. He did tell the major papers that this was a staged release, that they put out battlefield documents that a lot of times are filled with propaganda, fake body count numbers, things like that, to say that Hamid Gul is running the Taliban. He says, yeah, I did run it with the U.S. when we were fighting the Russians. But that's in the Washington Post. Document leak, part of U.S. plot, says Pakistani ex-general with ties to Taliban. And I also am concerned that it says that the New York Times went to Obama weeks before when Assange had given him this info and got his permission. And so maybe that's the issue, that WikiLeaks didn't release this first to the public. They went to The Guardian, Der Spiegel, and the New York Times. And so maybe that's the issue, is how the mainstream media spun it. But Birgitta has, when he was in hiding a few months ago, was his spokesman for a time. She knows him. One time she was on with us, and he was in the background there via video Skype. So joining us from Reykjavik is Birgitta Jónsdóttir. Birgitta, what do you think of what I've just said?
Well, you said a lot of things, and I understand the worries that some people have about this release. However, I can assure you that Julian Assange did not contact the Obama administration weeks before this leak. What happened was that a journalist approached him from The Guardian about having an embargo and to work with WikiLeaks on just going through this incredible amount of documents. And however, I have had confirmation about that the New York Times actually went to the Obama administration 2 days prior to the actual leak.
Well, let me just interrupt, then I'll shut up for a moment. I want to be clear. I don't know what I said, but if I misspoke, I meant to say the New York Times went to Obama, not Julian Assange.
Well, I think that is quite important, because he can't possibly go to the United States as things are. However, I think if we just look at it a little bit differently, or at least how I've been looking at it, because we did do an experiment here in Iceland when the Iraqi video was released, by working with journalists and giving them an opportunity to work the background material while we were working on making the video as accessible as possible for the general public. And that was actually quite successful, in the sense that we managed to get all the necessary background information, such as tracking down witnesses and finding the children, and just to make sure that this was not a falsified video. And I do think that is very important, that WikiLeaks does everything in their power to ensure that at least...
So do you think the criticism could just be paranoia, or maybe some people are a little bit jealous?
Probably a mix of both. I think it is very important that they actually did go through all the files with experts in investigative journalism, also to make sure that as little information would be there that would put lives at risk. And I've actually heard reports today that they did not manage to get out all the necessary information, and if that is true, that is, of course, very regrettable. I just also want to stress that I am not a spokesperson for WikiLeaks currently. I'm just speaking on behalf of myself here.
No, but I mean, am I correct in saying while he was in hiding, a month or two ago, that you were for a period, is what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. I did decide to stick my neck out because somebody needed to be accessible if the media or others needed to get some information.
Well, Birgitta, we salute you on that front. But I think the concerns do have some validity, only in that we know the media is spinning this towards an escalation of forces that they now admit. The
thing is, you can't hold WikiLeaks responsible for how the media chooses to spin it.
No, I agree with you.
Now it is the citizens and the people that are working, like you and others, with more of a social media. It is our responsibility to make sure that we spin it in the correct on the correct path, and to base it on the information that is found in these documents. And one of the things that I find to be very important, and many people have forgotten the warning that the Russians gave NATO before the NATO decided to attack in Afghanistan, and that is, you're never going to win this war. And from these documents you can see that this is an unwinnable war. You cannot win this war. So I think it does raise valid questions as